guys, my name is Clare and I am here for back-to-back filming to show you my September TBR. So I do film these back-to-back just because it's easier to sit down and do it all at once, but sometimes the videos are just too long if I switch them together, so I bring them to you in two parts. But I would like to share with you today the books that I want to try to get to in September, and I am really excited about my picks this month because two of them are because of the monthly recommendations group. So I'll start out with the book that I don't have here with me today because it's not out yet, but it will be delivered to my doorstep on its release, and that is The Copper Gauntlet by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, and that is book 2 of the Iron Trial series, and I am so excited about that book. I will be reading that with Elizabeth, and I will go ahead and link her channel in the down bar below, but we are going to be reading that together, and I am so excited about this book, guys. And then as for the books that I picked up from the monthly recommendations group, my first one is The Book of Lost Things by Connolly, and I actually heard this book from Birth, and I will go ahead and link her channel in the down bar below, but she was talking about this and I owned it, so I just immediately thought, okay, I have got to pick this up because that sounds amazing. But it is about a 12-year-old boy whose name is David, and he is currently mourning the loss of his mother, and the only thing that he has to keep him company are the books on his shelves. I thought that was an interesting concept, and I am curious to see where this book goes because, as you probably know from my Most Hated Tropes videos, I don't like the whole orphan story because I feel like that is just a terrible plot device to add drama. So hopefully this has some meaningful things in it that don't make it bad. Then I have Sunshine by McKinley, and this was a recommendation from April Sarah over on her channel, and I will link that in the down bar below as well. And she just pitched this as the ultimate vampire book, and I'm excited about it. It is also on NPR's Top 100 Sci-Fi Fantasy Novels. I've kind of fallen out of the vampire swing of things. I adore the Sookie Stackhouse series. Yes, I read Twilight. Stay tuned for a video collaboration I'm doing on that with Snark Squad, but that is fun. So I definitely want to check this out, and especially with Twilight coming up on 10 years, I think it would be important to read a good vampire book and just see how it's done. Next, I have The Monstrumologist by Rick Yancey, and this is just a book, which I own the entire series to, that has been sitting on my shelf since I got it as a Christmas present this past year. And I just knew that I needed to read it, and my plan is to read this, possibly get to the second book in the series, and then finish it up in October, because I've heard that this book is super creepy, and I think that it'll be really great to read in preparation for Halloween, which is one of the best holidays ever. Oh my gosh, it's another book about an orphan. For someone who talks about not liking this trope, I certainly own a lot of books about it. And finally, I am going to read this preview of Library of Souls by Ransom, and this book comes out on September 22nd, I believe. And I'm going to read this 90-page preview just because I want to get a feel for this book before I read it. I loved Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, adored that book. However, Hollow City kind of fell flat for me, and I felt like I just got my hopes up way too much about what I thought was going to happen, and then it didn't happen, so then I didn't like the book that much. So I picked up this preview at my local Barnes & Noble, and I'm going to check it out, and if I like this one, then I will go ahead and purchase Library of Souls, and I will be reading that this month. But this is still kind of up in the air as to whether I'm going to read the entirety of this book, because I don't know if I'm gonna love it. We'll see. Okay guys, that has been it for my September TBR. I feel like it's a little bit ambitious because that might not leave me a whole lot of room to read other books that I might just want to pick up. I know that I'm also in the middle of 2 buddy reads right now that I've already started the books, and that is Eon by Allison Goodman, and I'm buddy reading that with Franny in the pages, and I'm also reading A Spool of Blue Thread by Ann Tyler, and I'm buddy reading that with Marinez from My Name is Marinez, so I have to juggle kind of all those books with the other books that I'm reading right now as well, but that's okay because I feel like these that I just showed you, I'm saying these because they're sitting over here, are going to be really engrossing, and then I'm just going to get really into them because I've heard really fantastic things about the majority of them, and I'm super excited to start them, especially Sunshine, because I'm just in the mood for some vampires right now, because why not? But that has been it for today's video. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay weird.